Today's video is going to be extremely valuable for you and your business. We're going to be discussing Tinder, squirrels, the tropical boo-boo of all things, and how they all relate to you and a successful and proven Facebook ad strategy for your construction or remodeling or related type of business. Now, I'm going to discuss how the strategy works and how you can apply it to your business or type of business. And I'm also, more specifically and more beneficial for you, I'm going to discuss how to implement each of the steps of the strategy step by step. So, without any further ado, let's jump over to my computer and we'll get stuck into today's video. Okay, here we are back at my computer. And before we get started, I just want to remind you about two quick things. Firstly, click that subscribe button and the thumbs up button. It really helps me and it helps you by getting notifications on when I release new valuable content just like this that will help you and your business. Secondly, and what I would appreciate a whole great deal more is if you have any feedback, good, bad, or ugly, drop a comment in the comment section below and I answer them all myself, and I really do find them really valuable in terms of helping me provide better content for you. So if you have topics, feedback, or anything of that nature, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so what does Tinder, squirrels, and the tropical boo-boo have to do with you creating a successful Facebook ad strategy and campaigns for your business? Now, what these three concepts do is provide you a better and more precise and greater clarity around how you should be thinking about your digital marketing efforts. So really quickly, why squirrels? Now, if you're familiar with squirrels and their mating habits, well, you're a bit like me and you probably should invest your time in something more interesting. Now, with that being said, squirrels are huge fans of Tinder in a kind of abstract way. They're very promiscuous creatures. They're very non-monogamous. They go around partnering up with multiple partners, and they don't really give too much of a deal about the partners that they do interact with, let's put it that way. Where, on the other hand, tropical boo-boos, they're very much data collectors, and they want to do a bit of research in and around the partners because they typically mate for life. Now, why is this important to you? What, do you want to be like a Tinder kind of squirrel with your marketing, or do you want to be like the tropical boo-boo? Now, when it comes to thinking about squirrels and the tropical boo-boo and Tinder, how do you apply it to your business? What you want to do is put your feet in the shoes of your prospects. Now, do you want to be like a squirrel as a prospect and kind of, jumping from nut to nut without kind of, doing no due diligence or research kind of thing, going from, construction business to construction business or remodeling business, contractor, etc. Not knowing how to evaluate a contractor or a construction business, you're kind of leaving yourself open to not knowing what you're going to get as the end result. Or do you want to be like the tropical boo-boo where you kind of collect a little bit more information? You evaluate each business based on the marketing that they put forth, the results that they are projecting, and the testimonials, reviews that they have. Now, if you are like the tropical boo-boo, you're probably going to get a better end result. That kind of goes without being said. But are your prospects like that? Now, I can say with a high level of confidence that your prospects are very much more like the tropical boo-boo than they are like a squirrel on Tinder. Because of the reason is because of the high transactional value. Now, if you're buying, let's say just a bouquet of flowers for $40, $60, $80, $100, if a mistake is made, it kind of hasn't really hurt too much. You've lost, $40, $100. It's not a huge issue. But if you screw up a multi-million-dollar construction project or a $10,000, $20,000 remodeling job, yes, that is going to be a huge pain in the backside to the prospect. It's going to be frustration and hardship to their day-to-day lives. It's going to be a financial burden to them. Hence, why prospects want to do their due diligence and research when it comes to picking a service provider just like yours. So with your digital marketing, do you want to be like a squirrel on Tinder, or do you want to be like the tropical boo-boo? And that's what I want to discuss with you next, how to structure your marketing and your Facebook ad strategy like a tropical boo-boo. Okay, so here we are, and we have Facebook ads builder strategy kind of document here. Now, this applies to remodeling businesses, it applies to construction companies, any kind of business that is, related or even semi-related to this type of industry. Now, this is how you structure your marketing in terms of Facebook ads and also Google ads and many other kind of media buying type of opportunities, into taking your prospect through a little journey, kind of like I like the dating analogy. The tropical boo-boo or humans like to have multiple dates before they settle down with a partner. The reason is because you have a better success rate of finding a more or the most ideal type of partner for yourself, or the tropical boo-boo. Now, with that being said, with the top of funnel, and I like to look at it as kind of like 3 stages, and each stage can have multiple steps if need be. But what we have here is the top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. Now, at the top of the funnel, we're contacting and reaching out to people on Facebook that don't know about your business yet. Now, with the targeting, they're interested in the product that you sell or the service that you offer based upon the type of targeting that you have. And I'm going to talk about the targeting in just a few moments. Now, with the top of funnel, it's about engaging, capturing attention, and trying to educate the prospect and position your business as the most ideal service provider for the product or service that the prospect being that they want. Now, with that being said, the types of ads that can work particularly well are static ads, before and after pictures, educational type of content or material, video of key personnel conveying a unique selling proposition or unique mechanism, as I like to refer it, a unique reason or a unique process rather, on how you go about your work that provides a better end result for the prospect. With this type of content, you really do want to be attention grabbing, not in a clickbait type of way, but something that really does resonate with your prospects in the initial stage or the awareness stage of their kind of research and their stage of the buying life cycle, so to speak. That way, you can really quickly filter out who is a prime candidate and who is a less of a candidate. And you obviously, as you move down this sequential funnel kind of model, you focus more on the more ideal prospects, or the hotter and more warmer and more higher value prospects, as opposed to the tire kickers and the low priority prospects. Now, with the targeting, I like to use lookalike audiences based upon prospects or past completed jobs. Now, what this entails is collecting the CRM data, mostly email or phone numbers, inputting that into Facebook and creating a custom audience. And if this is not really resonating with you at the moment, don't worry, because I'm going to go through this step by step later on in the video. Now, what you do is you create a custom audience, and what Facebook does is analyzes the demographic data, the psychographic data, and the behavioral data of the people that have inquired with your business in the past or have completed jobs with you in the past. Now, what it does is it allows Facebook to create a model and find all the people in the geographical area that you service that are just like the prospects that have done business with you in the past or have interacted with you and your business in the past. And they allow you to essentially craft a message and provide that message to that group of people. And it goes with that said just how powerful that is. Now, when Facebook create the lookalike audience, it is far more, depending upon the quality of data that you give Facebook, of course, it is far more reliable and far more successful than the interest-based targeting that I may pick or you may pick. Now, with that being said, what's the next level? We want to move down to middle of funnel. Now, what we want to do is, we'll talk about the targeting first this time. Now, we want to create custom audiences based upon the people who engaged with our top of funnel here. So we might be, let's just say hypothetically, we're talking about a video testimonial. It's a 2-minute video. Now, what we want to do is capture people who watched the video for 90 seconds or longer. So they didn't watch the video in its entirety, but they watched enough that dictates that their behavior shows that they are somewhat or extremely interested in what the testimonial offered or your business and service offering in and of itself. Now, what it does when you base the next couple of funnel steps based upon behavior, you're basing it on something that is concrete and that you can really, to put it in a poor way, is go to the bank with and have confidence around. Because as the old saying goes, words are cheap. Now, words are cheap. People will say, lie, and do things to sound good, but their behavior dictates their true intentions. Hence why people that watch 90 seconds or 90 seconds or more of a 2-minute video, their behavior dictates that they are extremely interested in the content that you're delivering. Now, some other types of targeting that you can do in and around here are people that spent the top 25%. The top 25% of people that spent the most time on your website. That can be hugely powerful as well. Some other things are people that engaged and interacted with your Facebook posts. Now, these are all things based upon behavior, not so much interest, because we're moved beyond the interest type of targeting that was our lookalike audiences in the step before being our top of funnel. Now, as we move over to content here, it's not so much more about a first date, or we've got past the squirrel stage. We want to talk about how we can prove to, if we're talking about dating, prove to our partner that we are an actual good lifelong companion. Now, how we do that is we start to talk about our successes, so awards, testimonial, educational material before and afters, things of that nature. This can be done in static ads, video ads as well. Now, the reason why this works, the two reasons why people do not do business with someone is purely they're not interested in the product or service at that time, or maybe never at all. And that just goes without saying. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So we push them to one side. Now, the biggest reason why people don't purchase is because they don't believe you can do what you say you can do. Now, this is where the middle of funnel, we're trying to overcome that. We're trying to prove to the prospect that we are very good at what we do. And this type of content related material helps you get across that message and proof and credibility that you are very good at what you do. Now, as we move to the bottom of funnel, we're moving into a more, how would we put it, a more specific, a more granular, a more targeted type of custom audiences, because we've capped off a small percentage from here that are prime prospects, and we've moved them on to the middle of funnel. Again, we've done the same thing, and we've moved them on into the bottom of funnel. Again, it's based on custom audiences, based upon the behavior of how people perhaps interacted with the top of funnel, but most certainly how they interacted with the middle of funnel. And this is primarily how I like to stagger it, is we want to be more call to action orientated. Now, do you have a free in-house consultation where you do a 3D design for the person? Do you come in and do a measure and quote? Now, I'm not trying to pull or push you into what kind of call to action works the best, because that is hugely dependent upon obviously the product or service that you offer and the business model that you currently have. So I can't give you any hard and fast rules or principles on the actual call to action that you should be offering. But what I do want to reiterate, that you do need to have a very good and strong, powerful call to action. Something that, if I like to look at as a transaction, not a monetary transaction, although you may charge for your consultation, and I am for that, and I am against it depending upon the business model that you have. But the transaction and how I like to view it is that, what is the incentive that you're offering and the benefit that you're offering that will allow the prospect to trade their time for it? So that's what you're selling. You're selling that trade-off. So is your call to action powerful enough to say that, yes, this is a positive benefit to me, I'm going to engage with this call to action, or no? Do you need to increase the perceived value? So that's a question that you can ask and answer yourself, and perhaps work upon yourself as well. Okay, in this section of the tutorial, what I want to do is show you how to implement this strategy really quickly and easily for your business, and in a proven way that is got fantastic results for me and my clients around the world, in the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the United States, and a couple of other different countries as well, specifically for builders, construction company, remodeling, renovation businesses, all those types of businesses. This strategy works for. Even if you're semi-related, this strategy still works for. So what do we do first? First and foremost, you need to implement the Facebook pixel, because we want to be working with conversion campaigns because they are far better for this overall strategy than any other type of Facebook ad campaign. So if you know a little bit about the CMS that your website's built with, or HTML, PHP and things of that nature, you can be able to place the Facebook pixel yourself. If not, I'll show you how to just copy and paste the pixel over to your web developer. They can do it in literally probably 3 minutes or less. Now, to find your pixel, what you want to do is travel up to the navigation menu here. We want to scroll down to pixels. Pixels is here if you use it a lot like I do, or if you use it less so, it is in the measure and report column. You can click pixels. We'll just click it just here. And as the page loads, we'll come to the pixel page. Now your page may look a little bit different, and I do have a little bit of data coming through here because of the reason of it's a dummy account. I use this for training purposes with clients and also with these YouTube videos. So there is a little bit of data. Now what you'll have to do is create a pixel. Now to do that, you'll see when you first come to this screen to create a pixel, and you just go follow through the prompts. Now, if you have a pixel and you've never implemented it for whatever reason, that is perfectly fine. You just click the button of details, you come over here to setup, install pixel, and we want to either email the instructions to a web developer, and that's what you can do there, is just put in the email address of your web developer, or you can, we go back, and if you want to do it yourself, obviously just a manual install, you follow these instructions and wham bam, thank you ma'am, your pixel is in place. Now here we are back to the default ads manager page. Now what we want to do is we want to create 3 campaigns. I like to break them up. You can use any kind of naming convention that you wish. I'm going to call this one tofu because it's top of funnel, and we're in the auction, we're not going for reach or frequency. The campaign type is going to be conversion or video views, dependent upon the ad creative that you're going to run. If you're going to run videos, go with video views. If you're running a static ad, go with conversions. For the intensive purpose of this video, we'll go with video views. Now you can work out, you can name your ad set here. I'm just going to say ad set 1, and I would put the name of the video. It might be testimonial. Spelled that incorrectly, testimonial, and we just might just say Mark as an example person. This is Mark's testimonial for my client, or for my business if I was a construction company. Now ad 1, I like to use ad 1 because it just helps with the naming convention of things as well. You can also hear a nice little thing to add also is, I should have mentioned, is you'd put tofu in here, because that way you know that it's ad 1 in the tofu campaign. And we would do the same here. We would say tofu, we would add another little dash here, and we would say testimonial. And I've just realized that I have spelled testimonial wrong there. The I obviously comes before the A. My spelling is always terrible when it comes to these videos. A little bit of pressure and I seem to crumble. But that being said, so what we have here is ad 1, tofu, testimonial. If you have multiple ones, obviously you want to put Mark there as well. And we can add any other kind of description modifier that may be related. You might be it might be ad text here that you're testing, so you might just put some kind of description, so you let you know if you are or testing multiple different ad texts for the tofu campaign relating to the testimonial for Mark. Add a description there. So we would say this to drafts. And what would happen there is we would come into the campaign settings tab, that the section that just scrolled across, and what we would do is we would create a couple more just like this. And I'm going to do that based upon the middle of funnel, or MOFU and BOFU. I'm going to do that really quickly because you know how to do it, and just to speed up the nature of the video. Okay, so what we have here now is we have bofu, tofu, and mofu. Sounds like a bit of a sushi kind of restaurant or kind of sushi food, but I promise you it's not. Now, what we have here is I kind of done something a little bit interesting. Is we made the middle of funnel or mofu a traffic kind of based campaign, for the reason we might be sending those people to a landing page, kind of a blog post or a results page, a before and after, an educational piece or something of that nature. And we made the BOFU, the bottom of the funnel, our call to action, a lead generation type of form. Now, before we get started, what we have to do is jump over and create our custom and lookalike audiences. So how do we do that? So what we need to do is jump over to the audiences tab. And what we do is we scroll up to the ads manager menu. We come across to assets because audiences are an asset. Okay, so here we are in the audience menu. Now, what we want to do here is start to create a custom and lookalike audiences. Now, when it comes to custom audiences, it's best to have the names of people who have done the most desirable action. Now, that being said, if you're in that construction world, remodeling, contractor, etc., it is the people that you have actually done business with. There's been money transacted. Now, the reason why that is better, it is because that is the most desirable end result, and they're the people that you want Facebook to model and find lookalike people based in the geographical area that you serve. Now, if you don't have enough, and what I deem as enough is 400 or more, merge the completed jobs or people that you've done business with prospects, people that have inquired but not done business with you. Now, you ideally want that to be 400 or more, because Facebook will not match every single person, because not every single person uses the same details with their Facebook details, and not every person has Facebook. Now, with that being said, let's hypothetically say that you have 1,000 people that you've interacted with as prospects, or 1,000 people that you've completed jobs, or combined, it doesn't matter. Now, what you want to do is, I can't find that information for you, but once you have it, is you find all the emails of those people. We come to create a custom audience, create audience, click the custom audience tab, wait for the pop-up, customer file. Now, we want to create a file that doesn't include the lifetime value initially. Now, what we want to do is use the copy and paste, and you simply just copy all the email addresses or the mobile or cell phone numbers that you have of your prospects. We name the audience to be ABC, or my names have popped up there that I've used in the past, and sorry I had to blur that out because there's some sensitive data in there. Now, what you want to do is copy and then click next. Now, you'll go through a series of menus, just read the instructions and follow the prompts and continue through, and once you're finished, you'll come back to the screen just like this. Now, I have a custom audience based upon a customer list just here, and I'm going to use this one, the customer list, to create a lookalike audience, and you would do the same process for the custom audience that you just made. Now, to do so, we go to lookalike audience this time, and this time we scroll down and we just type in customer list. We come over to other sources and we see customer list. Now, this part is dependent upon the nation. Now, for Australia, sorry, my password manager is popping up there and creating a little bit of a pain in the backside for us all. Now, if we click Australia, we get 1% audiences of around about 170,000. And then once further on in the video, we do the more geographical based targeting. We do that in the actual ad set optimization and setup there. Now, this does change dependent upon the country. So if you're in the United States, for instance, we just type in states, United States, they are around about 2.1, 2.2 million. Now, what 1%, 2%, and 3% are is that the quality level of these audiences drop off as we go down here. So a 2% audience is not as good a quality as a 1%, and so on and so forth. Now, we can make the audiences larger by adding a couple of other segments here, and we can drag these and make the audiences larger if we need be. Now, this is fantastic if you at a later date want to scale. So you could set up a 1%, 2%, and 3% audience, and it gives you a broader market to provide for your messaging and to promote your products or services. So I like to start with just a 1% audience though. So you click create audience, And then what happens is you have a lookalike 1% audience based on the customer list. So now with that being done, what now you'd want to do is also create, once you've started to run the tofu campaign, is create middle of funnel and bottom of funnel types of audiences. Now, obviously we always have to start with a custom audience. Now you can build lookalike audiences based upon the custom audiences that we're going to build, which again adds more scalability. So what now we want to do is we want to base our middle of funnel audiences based upon custom audiences based upon behavior. To do so, hypothetically, our tofu campaign was a video. We want to say people that watch 75%, we select the video. I have no videos in this campaign, but you would find the video, and we can say over the past 90 days, 365 days, or what have you, and we can name the audience. So we would say mark video testimonial 75% watch plus kind of thing, and that would give you the naming convention. Now with that being said, what happens now is we want to come back to the ads manager. Okay, so here we are back at the ads manager, and we want to go into the tofu campaign and set up the targeting options there. So we just select here, Control U opens up the settings. We can set budget, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to really quickly fly over, but this is tofu. So this is the lookalike audience based upon the customer list. So to select this, what we want to do is just type in customer list, and we've got the lookalike audience here. And I did two in a past video based upon the United States and obviously Australia here, US. You can see just in here, United States, and just in here. Doesn't matter which one we want to run with, and that's the custom audience that we base the lookalike audiences upon. So we click here. Obviously, I've selected the US and we've selected Australia here. So we have next to no people as the potential reach. Now, obviously, we want to remove that, and immediately we go to 2.1 million. Now you can and probably should add the United States in here, but it's not necessary because we're only targeting the people based upon this lookalike audience. And so whether you add that level of granularity being country based or not, it doesn't matter all so much. But it's a good rule of thumb to do that just as a principle based thing. And also as a principle-based thing, people who live in this location, people that have recently been in the United States or are traveling, you don't want to show ads to. You want people that live in the United States, and that shouldn't have any real effect, and it doesn't, which is fantastic. And we don't really need to change all too much because Facebook's already done a huge part of the heavy lifting for the targeting that we want to engage with our messaging. So we really don't have to target any age group, and men, women, or anything of that nature. Facebook have already done that, thankfully, with the lookalike audience that we've already created. Now, with that being said, what we would do now is we'd move into the ad set at the ad level, and we would set up the video campaign. And this is not a video tutorial based upon how to set up ads and things of that nature. I do have other videos in relation to that, and I highly recommend that you go through those. Now, that shows you how to set up for the lookalike audience for the tofu campaign. So what we want to do is exit out of that campaign and the ad sets. We want to move into Mofu, and you'll see how I took a little shortcut in duplicating the campaigns. So we come into Mofu, and we can see that I've added a tofu. We just want to change that to Mofu, and we'll just call this a generic campaign because we haven't got any kind of ad creative, and I was kind of too lazy to think of it, and that didn't save, so we'll just remove that. Save to draft. Tofu to Mofu. Facebook's been a bit of a pain in the backside. Enter doesn't work, so we have to click the save button. Enter used to work a couple of days ago. So now what we need to do is we need to move upon into the ad settings and show you how to target based upon a custom audience only. Now it's kind of obvious, and we're just going to use the custom list, and we'll say that that's based upon video views. The reason why I'm doing that is because I don't have a video views based custom list, a custom audience for you. So what you would do is you'd find the custom audience that you created based upon video views. You would select that as a custom audience. and you'll select that. Again, we don't really have to change anything other than the country. Make sure that the location settings aren't conflicting like they are or as they would be here. The potential reach is not going to show you anything here because of we can say thank you to Mark Zuckerberg and the screw ups that he's performed in around privacy. So they used to show potential reach here, but now they don't. And that's all you'd have to do here. And again, press save, come through down to the ads, create your ads here for this MOFU, and then you're all done. Now, again, you would do the same thing for tofu. It might be a different style of ad for this hypothetical kind of campaign. I set up a lead gen ad. So again, this is not a tutorial on how to set up lead gen ads, but you get the idea of how to sequentially structure your Facebook ad campaigns for tremendous success. Well, we've come to the end of the video. I want to say thank you for watching all the way through, and I have a real kind of, I think, a valuable offer for you. If you wish, it's completely free. If you want a video audit of your marketing, be it Facebook ads, Google AdWords, search engine optimization, email sequences, or anything of that nature, offline or online, you can come to my website being brenhamel.com. So here we are at my website. Scroll down to the bottom, click this big button here, book your chat with me. There's no selling or pressure in the conversations or video. What I do is I just go through step by step, kind of like a screen capture video that you have right now. It's completely private. Only you get the video, and it goes through your marketing step by step on how you can improve the scalability, improve the optimization and success of your campaigns. It's hugely valuable and completely free. So as I mentioned, there's no selling pressure, there's no obligation. I go through all the marketing channels, analyze the numbers beforehand. We can have a conversation after the video if you wish. That's completely up to you, and there's no obligation in and around that. So it's a fantastic offer. If you want to do that, I have a couple of opportunities available per month, so you can do that really, really quickly. Also, I want to urge you to click that subscribe button, click the thumbs up button, and drop some comments below in the comment section, because I really do appreciate the feedback, be it good, bad, or ugly, or if you have any topics you would like me to cover in these videos. So this concludes today's video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.